What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Deuce back with another episode of the Off My Chest podcast, and this week I got another special guest for y'all. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Intangible Angelo, designer out of Los Angeles, California.
And just getting straight into it, one of the more unique names for a brand, just in general. Where did the intangible and intangible Angelo come from? Like, how did that spark off?
All right. So the intangible came about sophomore year of high school at Crenshaw. We was in class, and then the teacher was reading something and said the word intangible, and I forget who it was, but it was just like, hold on, intangible Angelo, and then I kind of looked it up and seen what it meant, and I just kind of put my spin on it, and ever since then, like, people were like, oh, that's intangible Angelo. So
that's what's up. So what inspired you to start this line, especially off of that name? Because I say this to a lot of brand owners that come on here. It is really, really hard to, for one, not only think of a name for a brand, but think of a name that you can put on clothes. Yeah. That's the even harder part. Like, how does this look on the clothes? And especially for you, because you do shoes. You do shoes, you do clothes, you do hats. So what inspired you to start this?
I would say, like, so it just really happened like 2018. I'm at West LA College. Shout out to West LA College and the track team there. But I was really just made a hat for myself that said intangible. It was really like for myself. Yeah. And then I took it to like a track meet we was going to. It was yellow and with the blue writing. It was a dad hat. And the team was just like, hey, like, where'd you get that hat from? Like, just out of randomly asking. I'm like, shit, I made it. It's mine. And they're like, oh, like, can we get one made? Like, and I told them no for like a cool minute. I'm like, nah. And then like one person was like, we'll buy him. Like, we'll buy him. So then my dad friend had an embroidery spot at the time. So I'm like, y'all buy him? So then I got a dozen made. I got like 12 made. And I charged them $10 each for a hat, a little dad hat that said intangible. They bought them all. Then they was like, make some shirts. Make some hoodies. Like, you feel me? They kind of like, I don't want to say bully, but like pushed me into the brand, like just the support. And that was the first time I ever really been around a group of people that just supported so naturally and genuinely. Yeah. So shout out the 2018 West LA track team.
Shout out to them. What's one of your main main sources of inspiration to keep going?
One of my main sources of inspiration, I'll say, just seeing like the leaders like that's come where I come from, like Black Sam, Desto Dub, Chase Infinite, Wicked Thoughts, Khalil, like, you know, just all of them type people, you feel me? I feel like that's the inspiration because they come from where I come from and they doing it, like. Yeah.
And again, I can really appreciate, just speaking of inspiration, you are laying a crazy pathway for the younger generation. Just by the way that you're handling yourself and the way that you're doing this, you really tapped in with the city. You making sure the city getting the love that it deserves. You making sure that your brand is based off of where you come from, so people know who you are as soon as they touch intangible. Exactly. And that's one thing that you know, a lot of brands, I don't want to say, well, you kind of do have to say, they kind of fail to capture where they come from with the brand. So like, for example, even with the hats, you can't mistake this. You know where this came from. You feel me? You know where the person who made this came from because it's said on the hat. It's just a little spin, but it's a great spin. It's one of those spins that the city damn near needed. You feel me? Yeah. So again, just the way that you're handling yourself, the maturity level that you've had since I met you, to be honest with you, just the way that you stand on business, very inspiring to the younger people that are watching you, because I do know that there are younger people watching you for sure. So definitely have to give kudos to that. What's the bigger picture for your brand?
The bigger picture for the brand, like how you said, like when I started the brand, it was basically about making something for myself. So that's kind of how, like, that's been my game plan this whole thing. I'm only making clothes that I would wear. Right. So I'm not thinking or overthinking about what these people will like or those people will like. I'm making stuff that is like, if I wouldn't wear it, I'm not even gonna put it out. Like, I didn't have samples that I would never touch the earth because I thought it was gonna be cool, but then I'm like, I wouldn't spend $60 for this. I wouldn't spend $20 for this. So, you know, it's just kind of like that. So the brand is like, basically, the brand is my surroundings, like, you know, all of my experiences and all that. So the maturity is me growing. Like, as I grow as a person, it's gonna grow with that. The pieces will develop. Right now, I'm currently at Tuskegee University. So you're gonna see some Tuskegee University inspiration, the Southern inspiration. So, but ultimately, man, the goal is just to go as big as we could go, you know, big as we could go.
And I love that you, again, I have to mention, love that you bringing the city up with you. Even with the because you had did a Crenshaw Dorsey collab.
I did a rival pack. It never officially dropped yet because I'm trying to really do it officially with each baseball team.
Right.
You know, it's because I wanted to give back to the inner city baseball because I feel like they kind of like slipping with the, I want to say just the encouragement. You know, people feel like they got to go to Bosco, they got to go to Sarah just to get out, when it's like Darryl Strawberry and all the greats, they came from Crenshaw and Dorsey back in the day. So why can't we bring that back to the culture? So
right. And again, and that's something I can relate to, just being a coach, football coach. Really just wanting to bring the love for the game back to the city, because the talent ain't left. The talent is still right here. They got to come here to get the talent, to bring it out there.
Exactly.
You feel me? It's just the love for the game ain't here no more. That's just what you want to bring back. And that's crazy that you want to do that with the baseball teams, those two baseball teams specifically, knowing that you did go to Crenshaw. So it's like the fact that you even want to do anything for Dorsey is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I got love for Dorsey. Coach Dobson, you know, Coach Outlaw, and then the players who played around my time. We grew up together. You feel me? We played at Baldwin. We played at all these different places. So they just on the other side, but I didn't play for my coaches. They coaches, everything. So it's just, to me, it's all one.
Type shit, yeah. And what year did you graduate from Crenshaw?
I graduated class of 2016 at 17 years old.
2016 at 17 years old. Yeah. Crazy work. And one thing I can say about him is that you kind of got people who like live in their past, but he's not really one of the people who lives in their past. He just makes sure that you know who he is because of what he's been through. Exactly. You know, and it's a real fine line, because there's people who just can't get enough of what they did in high school and how hard and how cold they was and the accolades they had in high school, and they just can't get away from that. They live with that their whole life. And then there's people who are just like, well, I was this in high school, but I'm this now, but this is what I went through, and this is what made me this now.
Exactly.
So it again, another refreshing thing to see. How have you grown? How have you seen yourself grown since starting your brand?
Man, I would say, like, because of the brand and everything, I was able to get on my first flight, you know, in like 2019, 2020 with my bros.
You went to New York?
No, we went to Atlanta first.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yeah, that was my first time ever on the plane. And the homies drove up there, and my mom wasn't giving me, she was like, I don't want you going and driving. Man, I must have, that next morning, booked a flight, a Spirit flight, and met the homies out there. It was crazy, but I feel like I've been able to meet like a whole new dynamic of people, and just, it's like when I met people, I was always cool with people, like, but I was always for sports or this or that. But now that I have a business or something, it's like a different type of relationship you could build with somebody. It's like infinite at this point, and like you get to be on the same level as them. Like,
you talk about those trips that you took, just Atlanta, the New Yorks, and everywhere else that you've been. I don't know where else you've been, but how those helped you on the business side? How those trips impacted you?
Those trips have impacted me, I would say, because this is the first time we went to Atlanta. It was the first time I ever left California. Like,
so
besides,
just a new
for
thing
real.
In general.
Like, besides Arizona, like, it was the first time I ever left California. So, and then being in the South and just seeing how they didn't know nothing about my brand or me at all, how they just like supported, you feel me, my black business, and how I see how they were liking it. And they weren't liking it because they are from LA or anything. They were liking it because they liked the shirts that I actually was making, and stuff like that. And just traveling with the homies is like a whole, it's like a vibe. Like, you know, like y'all, we all on our grind, we all going places. And I would say New York was an experience too, because it's like totally opposite. Like like they're up to date like us, but it's a whole nother world. And it's just something that, like, it was just dope to experience, because most of the people from New York are like from the other side of the water. Like, they from the Caribbeans, they from Jamaica, they from like all different types of places. So it's not many really black people like how it is here.
I was just talking to somebody about that. We was talking about, I forgot what I think we was talking about food, and they was just like they don't know nothing about this out there. And I'm like, they have a whole section of New York dedicated to Jamaica.
Exactly.
Like, specifically dedicated to Jamaica, literally. Like, it's dedicated to them. So it's crazy how diverse they are. And that's one of the places on my list that I really want to go to, because it's like Italians out there, it's Jamaicans, it's white people, it's black people, it's black white people, shit, it's black Mexicans. Like, it's
so much culture.
It's really a melting pot.
Like, when we went out there, like, it sounds crazy, but like you know, like out here, like we got Mexicans and stuff. They don't really have Mexicans like how we have. They're like Dominican, Puerto Rican, and I'm just like, these are totally different types of like people. Like it's crazy. Like, yeah, like they got their own. It's dope.
Shit is crazy. What's a quote you always carry with you? Like you just always keep this in mind.
Okay, so I got a new one. Like, so I had an old one, but like one just stuck with my grandpa. Always say, you gotta crawl before you can walk.
Right.
So that means a lot to me because he be serious. Cause like I'm one of the people I want to try to just get straight to it, but then like you can't take no cheat codes in this stuff, man. You gotta really build your foundation. So that's what I'm doing with the brand right now. Is that I'm really just trying to build a solid foundation. Like, you know, I could have had a store or whatever, but it's like I'm trying to build a foundation so it's never gonna fall. I'm trying to build that credibility to where it's like when you see intangible, like you see Supreme or you see Undefeated,
right? You
see Nike, something like that. Like just put respect on it. But yeah, you gotta crawl before you can walk. That's what my grandpa said. You can walk.
That's always a good one because a lot of people just don't understand that there is a process. You feel me? So a lot of people just want to overlook the fact that this person had to really work to get here. You love the success story and you want to even mock the success story, but you don't want to look into how that person got to that success. You feel me? And that's a lot of people don't understand that you got to go through a lot of shit before you can get to where you want to go.
You feel me? Take a lot of L's.
Like in anything you do, it take consistency and emotions. And that's one thing I learned, like especially with music, even when it comes to this podcast, like the consistency it takes, that's not easy. The emotions that it puts you through, it's like, fuck, I don't even want to do this shit no more. Because it's like, I could do something else with my time and then stress myself the fuck out about who the fuck I'm finna interview this week. You feel me? I could be writing a song somewhere, but even when it come to that, you know, that's every emotion. Did I say this right? Am I putting this down right? Is this the right thing to go behind this? So definitely 100% relatable to crawling before you walk. A lot of people gotta come to a comprehension of that. How did your childhood impact you beginning this brand?
Shit, like a lot. Like, so my pops is a hustler, you feel me? So like I feel like by me being with him every day and seeing him hustle, like it's inevitable for me to be a hustler and be doing
figure out how to get it some way.
Yeah, so just even with the clothes, like, so it's like, yeah, like Pop's going downtown when I'm like 4 or 5 years old, doing stuff for people, getting stuff made. So that's kind of how, like, when I was beginning to do the brand, my Pops knew half the people downtown because he dealt with people. So I would say just like being around my Pops growing up, for real.
What inspired you to get into fashion?
Like I said, the track team, because I've never been the person that's been like super known about what's been on a runway or what's on Vogue or what's this or what's that. Like, and I think that's kind of like the reason my stuff comes out the way it comes out, and it's all like organic, because I'm not trying to see what they did in 2007 with Gucci, because I don't care. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do in 2023, 2024. Like, I feel that. You know, so I've always been into shoes, though. That's the only thing. I was really into shoes, sleeping outside all night, camping out for the shoes at Undefeated or whatever. But as far as fashion, I haven't really studied it, and I think that's what's working for me. Because I feel like when people go to fashion school, they feel like they got to do things a certain way. They get programmed, and I'm just vibing.
Try to follow a certain template.
Exactly, I'm just vibing.
What inspires your designs then? So because now that I know that you're not really into fashion, you have some really good shirts, really good logos, really good everything. To be honest, like you have a quality brand. So what is the process going into finding these things? Just
another thing, just patience. Like, my best ideas come at 4 a.m. I'll be in my room, I'll be somewhere. Like, when I designed the shoe, I was trying to design a shoe for a long time, like couldn't think of anything. It was one night, 4 a.m. I'm just messing around on my computer, put it together, like, oh, this is it. Like, it just be those moments, like light bulb thing. So it'd be like my creative process is just like really like late at night, just up bored, and then it just happens. When I try to force it or be like, I need to design something today, it's never gonna happen.
And you know what? I be feeling the same way when it comes to making music. Like, oh, I gotta get something done because I ain't wrote in a minute. That's really not how it works.
No, it's not gonna come to you.
That's not how it works. Like, you want to be able to just spit some shit out and be like on cue, but it's not that. Like, sometimes you just gotta sit back and relax and let life pass you up a little bit, and then go back to what you was doing. Like, okay, you know what? Since I learned this from this, I could finally piece this up together,
exactly,
and make this something. What's one thing you love and one thing you hate about what you do?
One thing I love, man, is like doing pop-ups and stuff. It feel like my birthday, like
Okay.
no cap, like the that's the reward of this stuff. Like seeing your visions come to life. Like, you know, whether it's a shirt, whether it's an event or something, just seeing that finished product and that finished moment, just living in that moment. That's like what I love about it. One thing I would say I hate is that like people don't understand like everything, like it's a process. Like people think it's just people think it's just come easy, and then I hate that. I hate that I know that it's gonna take longer for me because I'm building that stronger foundation.
Man.
So that's what I hate. That I know it's gonna take longer because it's gonna last longer.
And you know what? Every time I ask this question, somebody points out a new hate that I always overlook, but it's there. And man, that's one thing I hate so much is I know it's not gonna happen for me tomorrow because of the way I'm doing this shit. Like, it's literally not.
Like, I want to wake up, pull up lamb truck,
Bro,
like, I made it.
I want to pull up GLE, bust down on
so,
wrist, you know, but it's not that yet.
Yeah.
You feel me? And again, it's the crawling before you walk, because that it plays into having that every emotion mindset, because you gonna be like, nigga, how the fuck am I not famous yet? This person just put this shit out. I just put this shit out. This way hotter than this shit.
Exactly. So
how?
Yeah, people tell me that all the time. Like my boy, he said, bro, if I did everything that you did, I would be rich and famous already. Like, he said, if I did everything you did, I would be working with all these people already. Like, so
I tell myself that all the time. Like, if it wasn't me rapping this, whoever it is would probably be famous. They probably would have blew up by now, to be honest. Like, cause I don't think I'm the best, but man, am I good. So, you know, like, it's no reason why I shouldn't be famous, but apparently there's a reason I'm not famous, you know?
We just gotta wait our turn.
So you just gotta let that time pass you up, and you gonna learn something along the way that's gonna help you get to where you need to get. That crawling before you walk. See, I damn near want to name the episode "Crawl Before You Walk," because that's really a big thing. Like, people just don't understand that sometimes you just can't rush the shit. You can't rush the shit. You gotta let this shit build. You gotta let the muscles in your legs build up from doing all that crawling, and then you can stand up and you can take a couple steps, and you're gonna fall.
Yeah, and that's how it's kind of been for me too with the clothes. Like, all my best pieces I've came up with a year or two before it actually blew up, or the world has seen it. Right. So it's like I've been having to sit on it and figure it out and everything. So like, it's like I've been on it. Like, you feel me? It's just y'all just seeing it, or I'm finally able to get the money to bring it to life.
Really put it out type shit. I feel that 100%, because that money thing, that do be the big issue. What was I have to ask this, because this was the biggest thing to me, was the hats. And you were able to do so much marketing off the hats, just trying to get people into the hats. Blast was in the hat. You were trying to get Janae into the hat. Did you ever get Janae into it?
I got her into a trucker hat. Shout out my team. Shout out Tay. Shout out Swing.
That's big.
They got her into a hat.
That's real
Ruchi
big.
was in the hat. Like, a lot of people. It was, so
the city had that hat on.
Yeah.
The city had that hat on. That's a fact. And I just want to know, what was the creative process behind making that hat? Because I know you just said, you know, it came to you at 4 a.m. Like, what was it?
Oh, so the hat, man, I was working at Lids, man, and I was just looking at this NY hat, and I was just like, and I see the word Crenshaw popped in my mind, but I'm like, that don't even make sense. And then I just kept looking. I'm like, it do make sense. And I tried to like do it at my job, and my boss was like, no, you can't go on the front of the hats here. It's illegal. So I went to my dad embroidery guy, you know, shout out them. They did it for me. And when I first posted, I got so much hate. I got people say, you must be from Ohio, you trying to get people killed. Because I had the blue one. I wore it every day for a whole year. I'm like, man, I'm a stand on it. I can't try to put something out and I won't wear it. So I wore it every day for a year. I'm getting hate. The only people loving it is the homies from the hood. But like, so I'm like, man, I was
on that motherfucker. I had me a green one, lost that bitch.
This before that. That's what I'm saying. Before the colors even came out, I'm getting there. So you feel I'm thugging every day. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm taking a break from the brand. I took a break. You feel me? Then somebody sent me something on Instagram. somebody tried to make my hats. And I feel like that was like a blessing in disguise because it sparked something, like, you know? And when I seen that, and I seen people that I know that follow me, like, oh, that hat hard, and this, that, I'm like, I was posting this all year. And when I post it, it's a problem. Yeah, exactly. So I just really turned my savage up, and immediately right then I started thinking, I said, man, I'm finna do 4 colors. I'm finna get the homegirls who went to Crenshaw in it. We finna promote it, like, not on no streetwear stuff, but on some fashion, like, on some it's for everybody type stuff. And after that, I'm not gonna lie, like, it just went crazy. Like, it went Twitter did its thing and everything, so it just went crazy. But I really feel like stuff happens for a reason. I took a break from the brand. I was literally just chilling at home and see something on Instagram, and then it was a lot of people that I know, like, oh, that had hard, I need one ASAP, I need my size. I'm like, dang, if they, like, what? I've been posting this all year, so yeah, it really just turned me up, no cap.
Yeah, I feel that, because you really been on that.
Yeah, and I was just like,
like,
so, yeah.
I really been on that, and you niggas is trying to, it's whatever though. You know,
that was back to what the homie said, if I did what you did, I'd be famous already. So
100. And again, that just goes to attribute to the work ethic that you have, you feel me? Because that's what made you get up right away and be like, all right, well, I already had the vision. Let's put it in motion. Let's get it in motion, because y'all do like it.
Yeah,
y'all do like it, you feel me? And sometimes that's all it takes is you don't need somebody to tell you that it's hot. You need to see something like, okay, they really do think that's hot. So let me keep pursuing that. Let me push that a little bit more. Will LeBron say, here go another one for me? So yeah, like, you know, like it's really great to see when people kind of, you know, like, take that step back and be like, I do got to figure it out a little bit. Let me actually start putting it in motion and see how people gonna react to it. Then the reaction is bigger than what you even expected, because I'm pretty sure you didn't expect everybody to be loving it like that.
I remember the day Rucci hit me up and was like, bro, I need a hat, like, can you pull up on me? I'm like, what? Like, I don't have no car at the time. I had the homies take me. They was scared to go, but I grew up playing baseball at Rogers Park. My dad always kept an extra spot at Inglewood, so I didn't care. I would have went by myself. Man, he pulled up. Rucci was all genuine, all love, you feel me? He paid for the hat too, like, you know, like, I probably would have gave it to him, but like, I respect him 100 times more, you feel me? He bought the hat, wore it, and all that, like,
proud to pay.
Yeah, proud to pay. So
and that's what you love to see, to be honest. You love to see when people are really showing that love to you just from a genuine spot in your heart, and not really looking for the cheap way out, the easy way out, really respecting your hustle, because that's a sign of respecting your hustle at the same time. Is not trying to cheat you because of the name or where I rank. Is just being like, you know what, I respect your hustle and I like your brand, here go the chip.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
And that's how it always should be, whether it's your homie or not. It should always be like that. You should always be proud. And you should be even more proud to pay. You should be tipping this nigga if it's your homie, to be honest, because that's your boy. Yeah. You should want him to win that much. I'm just saying. You know, I all I know is anytime somebody come on this show and you see me rocking a brand, I pay full price for it. That's a fact. If not this, then what? What would you be doing if you weren't trying to make this brand?
If I wasn't pushing the brand, I'll for sure, like, I've always been a networker, so I'll just be trying to tap in with as many people. I don't know if I would be trying to do music. For sure, baseball. Like, it would probably just be baseball and everything. But honestly, I don't know. That's why I feel like it just working out so perfect, because I don't know.
Yeah, you just go on with it.
Just vibing.
Yeah, I like that. What's you mentioned the music. What made you get into music?
My family, my big cousin, like Tata, he do music. My cousin Sid, everybody like do a lot of music in my family. So just being around them and just seeing my cousin Ty record and stuff while I'm in middle school, high school, I'm like, bro, you hard. Like, so, you know, I kind of played around, did a birthday song when I was like 17, and then it's just another way to express my creativity. I don't plan on getting rich or trying to sign to a label off of it or anything, but I will drop music videos. I will, you feel me, do stuff because it's like how I want to. It's another form of me like expressing my creativity. I just believe I'm a creative now. Yeah, and
you should respect yourself as such because of the way that you're moving. You're not just a regular designer. You're definitely a businessman first, and that's all. And that's always gonna be respected. What's one thing that you've learned about yourself over this process of starting this brand?
I've learned that I'm hard-headed and shit gotta go my way. Like, you feel me?
A little stubborn?
Yeah, a little stubborn sometimes. I've learned that, you know, I've learned that I need a team, but I've also learned that I need to build a foundation for a team. You feel me? I've learned that, you feel me, I like to take all the losses. Like, that's why I push people away and like isolate, because I need to take this loss to the chin. Like, you feel me? So,
I'm the same way.
which is a good thing and a bad thing, because people be wanting to be there to help me, but it'd be like, I gotta take this. You feel me? So I could be stronger and I can learn from my mistakes.
So I can learn something from this.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's one of the are there any sacrifices that you had to make in order to pursue this brand?
Shit, man, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of time.
It's always gonna be that.
But I would honestly say, like, this is the one thing in my life that has kind of been flowing. Like, you feel me? It hasn't been forced. So it hasn't been any major really sacrifices. You know, if I didn't get accepted to Tuskegee, I was going to open up my office. And then I was just going to be full-time with the brand. But since I got accepted, I feel like me going to school is honestly like slowing down the process of the brand, but it's for a good cause. So I'm fine with that. People be like, oh, what's this? I'm actually taking my time with the brand and dropping piece by piece at a time, because I know when I graduate college, I'm going full-fledged, force, fast, all that. Like, so yeah.
And it's a good time just being at a HBCU, in college in general, just to build your connections.
Yeah, I met so many dope people.
Right, and you never know who's gonna come in handy down the line. Shit might be a model, and then maybe a person starting their own brand and get you in their store. It could be anything, but you know, just the college experience right now, you can't really see it as slowing down the brand. It's just, this is part of the building process, if anything, you know.
Foundation building.
Exactly. And that's one thing I want to ask you. Just elaborate more on the building the foundation for a team. Because I kind of like what you said about that, just knowing that you need to build a foundation for wanting a team, but knowing that you have to build a foundation for a team.
So you got, when having a brand, like, of course, all your close friends and people that, you know, rock with you want to be a part of it.
Right.
And if you say yes, but you got nothing for them to do, what like, how is that really helping you?
Exactly.
You feel me? And then you got to really build a foundation for them. Like, all right, my graphic designer, I need this from you, and this is us. You feel me? My pop-up team, I need y'all for this, and I can pay y'all this, but I just need y'all to really be in y'all zone. But if you just got people around that just repping the brand and all that, but you don't have no vision for them, how are they going to be able to help you?
Exactly.
They can only do what they think you want, but if you don't really know,
they can't have a vision for you. Is there anything we should be on the lookout for in the near future coming from the brand, or just Intangible Angelo in general? Could be music, anything of that nature?
I got some beanies dropping soon. That's the next drop, actually. So I have some dope beanies coming out. They actually en route to the house right now, so that's coming real soon. How much them going for? $30.
You got the pre-orders going?
Nah, it's gonna be, you order it, get shipped right out. There's some dope beanies. I'll show you off camera.
Over.
Yeah, I got a lot of designs that I'm working on right now. That's going to be, think is gonna be some real timeless work right here, man. Like, I got these hockey jerseys I'm working on that I can't even talk about, but
that's player.
Yeah.
And the reason that's player is because I ain't seen no LA brands doing nothing of that nature, so that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's real out the box, real. Been having this idea for a couple of years, and now it's finally like about that time that I bring it to life. Yeah. And then the Crenshaw wall jacket, I plan to have that no later than next Black History Month, with all the litigations with dealing with their lawyer and all that, because that hasn't officially been able to drop yet.
Okay, that's what's up. Is there anyone that you really want to work with, city-wise, big name, whether it's music, clothes, anybody?
I was fortunately blessed enough to be able to do my first collaboration with Modesto Dub. So I feel like that kind of like made me feel like really good, and really like I learned a lot from that. You know, we went to Miami and did a follow-up drop and everything. So, and also shout out to Snowballs. I just did that this past Sunday.
Shout out to Snowballs.
I would really love to work with Nike or Vans, like a shoe company for real, like, and really like use their resources to make something just so crazy. I would love to work with man, I got a lot of collaboration ideas. It's like Undefeated, for real, that would be a dream collaboration. Intangible times Undefeated. That would be one for the culture. The Marathon clothing.
Of course. Can't go without that.
Yeah, like, and really just the brands that I wear. Like, I'm not trying to go collab with nothing that I don't wear or nothing that don't feel right with me. Like, should I even collab with PF Flyers?
I feel that.
Or like,
I feel that.
You know,
that would be a blast to the past.
Yeah, just some dope shit that niggas used to wear, like, and bring it back up, or you know.
That would be. Hey, I would love to see a tangible PF Flyer collab. I would tap in with that for sure. What's the end goal? What's the bigger picture for the brand?
The end goal, man, I want to be like a serial business owner. So I want to own different types of businesses. I have someone in my family, rest in peace, my great uncle Garland. He was the same. He owned liquor stores, he owned apartment buildings on Overhill, he owned all different types of things, and I just was so amazed by that, because it's like, well, how can one man do so much in one life? So you know, I want to be like a serial business owner, but I want the root to all that to come from Intangible. I want Intangible to have a storefront that people could come in and, you feel me, and come get fly and be like, oh, where can I go to get my last minute outfit? I could go to Intangible. Like, I want it to be like Undefeated, the Marathon Supreme, like all the streetwear, just all in one. Like, you know, I want the end goal. Like, I just want to be at the top with all my homies and all my peers, and just look back like it was all worth it. Yeah,
and that is one of the best end goals that I've heard from anybody on the channel, just to be with your boys and just be at the top of the people that you started this shit with. It really can't be nothing better than that. And I know that people who have taken that route loving it right now. You feel me? Sitting at the top loving it. That is actually all we got for this week's episode of the Off My Chest podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in with OMC again. This is episode number 10. Shout out to us for making it to 10 episodes,
number 10 for the win.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Angelo for coming on to the episode again, man. Thank you for being you, man, always. And
I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you. I appreciate him for coming on again, because like I said, I always try to keep the people that I bring onto this podcast as genuine as possible, so that you can get the best type of interviews, really understand who these people are and why they make the things that they make, where it comes from, and more likely than not, it comes from the heart. A lot of the people that come on here won't even put out the stuff that they don't like, and they're not gonna make you listen to it, and not gonna make their homies say, oh yeah, we like it, knowing they lying type shit. They really doing this shit from the heart, really putting it out the right way. And that's one thing that, again, been giving you your praises all episode, but can really appreciate that about you, man, because everything you do since I've known you, genuine, come from a place of great heart. Whether it's even you can hear it in his music, no faking. When he said expressing himself through his music, you can literally hear that in his music. So again, thank you for coming on the podcast, bro, blessing us with your presence.
Follow me at Intangible Angelo. Follow the brand at intangebleinc, man.
Yes, sir.
Follow the Off My Chest podcast.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all better tune in, man.
Yes,
we drop
sir.
gems right today, man.
For real. And a lot of free game. Free game. With all that being said, man, from OMC to y'all, we are out. Keep getting it off your chest, man. Holla. Yes, sir.
That pussy fucking with my confidence. I used to wanna fuck him all, now it's obvious. It's only you, the way you do it, got you poppin' shit. Look in your eyes when we fucking, know you like it thick. Girl, I can't lie, you too exclusive, I can't publish this. You ain't no sneaky link, I show you who I'm rockin' with. It's me and you against the world, fuck all them politics. Hit front and back and then I let you get on top of it, yeah. I noticed you across the room, I'm thinking what it do. I look away, you look at me, we playing peekaboo. Ain't never